Hey, well, tonight I want to talk about the time based on the speech that we had in a class. We had some problems with some of the students who could not really understand the way of telling the time. Uh, because telling the time country to country is really different. For example, here in Germany, it's a little bit very much precise. You have to be exact about what you're talking about. 5 minutes after 1:30 or 30 minutes. In Germany, we cannot say 30 minutes past one. We have to say 30 minutes to 2 o'clock. Therefore, for some students, because they compare the time in their language, I mean, from the language that they're learning to the language that they already learned or they already are speaking, can make the situation a little bit weird. Therefore, this is my request to most of the students. Do not think in your language. Think in the way that you are learning. Like if you're learning Chinese, think like Chinese. If you're learning Persian, think like a Persian. If you're learning English, think like an English person. Therefore, here tonight, I want to talk about the time and in which ways we can categorize or put the timing into categories, different categories, and which one is easier and which one is harder. Therefore, I invite you tonight to stick to this plan. Okay, I hope you enjoy. Noon, noon means 12 o'clock at the very beginning of the afternoon. Around noon, we probably can meet, or at noontime, we can talk, or at 12 o'clock, we can meet each other, something like that. Midday. Remember, MID before every word makes sense, which makes sense, uh, can show the meaning of middle of something, like mid-year, mid-month, midday, okay, midnight, midday. This sometimes means the same thing as noon because noon is in the middle of the day. So midday can also be any time between 11 a.m. and 12 p.m. This is basically when people begin and finish eating lunch. Therefore, noon. Examples, and therefore midday. Examples. In the midday, we can eat lunch and go. Okay, in the afternoon. Well, after noon. Okay, after 12 o'clock. Basically, this phrase means after noon passes. It is really versatile. This can be any time between 12 p.m. and before the sun sets, usually around 6 p.m. But it depends on the month and the season and the place that you are living in. Well, midnight. It's a very fun word because I'm gonna tell you. Midnight means the middle of the night. However, nowadays people uses words 12 in the morning when the next day begins. So many people will be confused whether it's okay, it's midnight, 12 a.m. or it's morning. Well, depends on your lifestyle. So the phrase midnight hours refers to any time between 12 a.m. and 3 a.m. or 3 o'clock in the morning. Twilight. Twilight is a very nice word because it brings the picture of a sky with blue and pinkish color. So it is a time that the sun is in the sky and you can see the sunshine, but it's not exactly the sunshine, okay? So the color is beautiful, and that moment is called twilight. And after that, sunset and sunrise is a time that sun sets and sun rises. When the sun is setting, going down, or rising, going up, you can call these times sunset and sunrise. Sunset is right before twilight, when the sky starts to turn pink and orange. The colors are important here, pink and orange, but it is not dark yet. Sunrise happens when the sun starts to come up in the morning and has the same orange and pinkish color as sunset. And the next word is after dark. After dark is a time of the day that is after darkness. It's usually between 9 o'clock or 9 p.m. And 1 a.m. in the morning, 1 a.m. or even later. It can also be a phrase for when nightlife starts in a big city, okay? And people go out to drink or dance or go to bars and clubs and do something bad. I'm just joking. So yeah, it refers to that particular moments of life. And crack of dawn, that's a very nice expression. Crack of dawn. Moment for the crack of dawn is when you first start seeing the light in the sky, but the sun is not visible yet. People often use this terms in terms of a word for walking up before the sun, or just very early, around 4 a.m. and 6 a.m. Yeah, that's crack of dawn. So here are the expressions that you can use to tell the time, almost, not exactly. But talking about the numbers, we are going to the next procedure and we are going to find out. See you there. Basically, talking about hours can be in this can be analyzed in this chart, okay? Which you can start with 1 to 12, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 till 12. Now, the thing is that when it is in the morning time, when the sun shines, you should say AM. And when it's in the afternoon, when it's in at night, you should say PM. On the other hand, when we are putting the time in 24 hours, meanwhile the time is from 1 a.m., 1 in the morning, 1 in the middle of the night, till 12 o'clock in the morning, which is noon, which is the time that you should think about your lunch. That is called AM. And after that is called PM, because then after that you will enter in to be close to 13, 14, 15 till 24. Now, here I want to talk about some ways that you can say the minute, but it can be in difficult way, or it can be in an easy way. The choice is yours. You can choose it, whether to say as a very, very simple way, just read the numbers, or you can choose to say in another way, which is some students do not really enjoy of using it. Anyhow, I will tell you exactly what I mean. If you suppose this is the clock, it's 12, 3, 6, and 9 o'clock. And these are, if I'm not mistaken, no, that's almost right. Yeah, okay. This is 5, 10, 15. These are minutes, okay? 20, 25, 30, 40, 45, 50, 55, and 1 hour passed. Okay. Here are the signs of minute. To know it's a minute and it's an hour, and if some other timing in between comes, they are going to show with these kind of lines, which are called second. Okay, here we go. You can say, for example, 1 o'clock, 1 a.m. or 1 p.m. and you can read it 1:05, 1:15, 1:23, 1:30, or what, or some other name, some other numbers like 4:23, 5:30, 6:15, 7:05. Okay? Now, in a little bit complicated way, let's divide the clock into 4 pieces. Each and every 4 piece is a quarter. Okay? And every 2 quarter is 1/2. Okay? Therefore, 1 quarter is 15 minutes, and 2 15 minutes are 30 minutes, or half. Okay? Therefore, you can say, okay, now, let me tell you this, that if you want to say something about 15 minutes, which is already past, therefore you have to say a quarter past, or half past. The question is that why should we use a here but no a here? The answer is a quarter is 1 quarter, but half is already 1. Okay? So yeah, in so many languages and so many cultures, we have 2 halves. The first half, which is past, the second half, which is going to be the next time. But here we are learning English and we should focus on English. Therefore, we are going to think in English. So it's going to be 5:15, or a quarter past 5. 5:30, or 5:30. 2:15, or a quarter past 2. 2:30, or 2:30. Now, think about this. What if we are talking about this? we're talking about this part. What if the clock shows this? How much time do we need that clock turns into 7? Yes, 15 minutes. Therefore, we say, and 15 minutes is a quarter. Therefore, we should say a quarter to 7. A quarter to 7. Instead of saying 6:45, we say a quarter to 7. Now, help us solve these problems, solve these clocks. How can I answer to a person who asks me the time? We have 3 ways: the hard way, the easy way, and the last one to tell around the time that we already learned in the first part. I explained about that. Now here, the hard part, it doesn't have a hard part. So the hard and easy part is 2:22. This one, the hard one, yeah, a quarter past 4, right? And yeah, right, 4:15. This one, well, it doesn't have a hard part. 5:25. Next one, yeah, it doesn't have a hard part. 6:35. Next one, 9:46. Or we can say almost, it's almost quarter to 10. This one, the hard one, 10 to 11. And the easy one, 10:50. The important point here is that the first 10 is 10 minutes to 11 o'clock, okay? And the second format that we are talking about is 10 the hour and 50 the minute. Okay, next one, PM, 12 p.m. right, 12 p.m. Okay, the other way, it's 12. Yeah, right, but 12 p.m. Help me. 12 p.m. is yes, which is noon. And 12 a.m. is perfect, midnight. Awesome. So you can easily play with numbers as we already done that. And if you have any question, please write on the box below and ask me. No problem, I will definitely answer you. Thank you so much for paying attention. See you for next session.